Recognize retired Staff Sergeant Greg Turner. Wow, retired.
You still got a gun, though.
Yeah.
I'm still one bullet. One bullet.
That's one more than you had before you retired.
That's right.
Welcome.
I'm still certified, just so you know, and still have to do all the training. We'll talk to you for just a few minutes. And as it relates to breaking and enterings, residential and vehicle break-ins, and some things we do to make our homes a little more safer, a little more secure. Residential B&Es, breaking and enterings, occur during the daytime. That's when you're at work, school, doctor's store, whatever. You're not there, and the folks committing this crime, they don't want to have to deal with you or face whatever consequences they might get from you for going in. So, therefore, they go during the day. Usually a couple of folks go in, one grabs a big screen TV because it's lightweight and easy to carry, the other goes to the bedroom and takes the jewelry from, guess where? Jewelry box in the master bedroom, and then they're out, and usually just within a matter of 3 or 4 minutes. We hear about home invasions a lot. First-degree burglary is the breaking and entering of an occupied dwelling at night with intent to commit a felony or larceny therein. In other words, going into a home at night that's occupied, first-degree burglary. Home invasion is not on the books. That's nowhere in the general statutes, but that's a term that people use a lot, and we see in media relating to people going in on people in their homes at night. I will say that it's very rare that we have first-degree burglaries at night, people are in the homes, where it's random. Most of the time, way majority of the time, it's there are reasons that these particular addresses, locations are targeted. And it's usually drugs, drug-related. It's usually some type of gambling going on, prostitution, something that would generate cash monies as opposed to, you're not going to use credit cards, you know, or write checks for any of these things we mentioned. And they know that. So the main thing I want to get across is I don't want people to be afraid at night in their homes. And be afraid of somebody coming in on them. It's rare that that's a random act. Therefore, if you're not there at night, make your home look occupied. Leave a TV on, have lamps that come on and go off. Some things that just makes it look like someone's there. And during the day, when I say we have the break-ins, residential break-ins, if someone knocks on your door, you respond. You don't have to open the door, but you let them know you're in there. We know from experience, and a lot of times surveillance on people coming in to break into homes. They knock, they ring the bell, nobody answers, they assume nobody's there. So go around back, kick the door in. So you don't have to open the door, but if you just say, who is it? You don't have to say anything else. If they're there to see, to check, and see if someone's at your home, then they'll leave. They'll go somewhere else. Vehicle break-ins, of course, they occur, and you know, some of this is getting small. Vehicle break-ins occur in residential areas, apartment complexes, shopping areas, and usually the reason for that is items are left in the car where they can be seen from outside, whether it be GPS, radar detectors, whatever. We have laptops, a lot of things left inside the passenger area of a car that should be hid or put up somewhere. So if you'll never leave things in plain view like that and keep your doors locked, then that'll usually folks will come along, if they don't see anything, they pull on it's locked, they'll move on. Now, a few things about your home. Your doors, outside doors, and I say this, and it seems a little silly sometimes to say it, but a lot of people don't have solid doors. You have solid wood or steel doors as exterior doors. Your locks, everybody should have a deadbolt lock. If you have glass within 40 inches of that deadbolt, the National Crime Prevention Council says you need a double-cylinder deadbolt. Double cylinder meaning it takes a key from both sides. Otherwise, somebody breaks the glass, reaches in, turns a little thumb latch, and they're in. So you need deadbolt locks. Your lighting is a deterrent to crime. Motion sensors are really good. Somebody's coming up a driveway to look into your car at night, and the lights come on. They don't know if you've turned the lights on or not, but they'll move on. Shrubbery. National Crime Prevention Council says 2 feet. People can use shrubbery as cover to hide and wait on you to come in, and I can quote instances where that's happened here in Burlington. Or cover to break into your house. If somebody can hide behind a 2-foot shrub, you're not going to worry about them, a whole lot anyway. But it also helps you when it comes time to trim shrubbery. If you'll plant little low-lying shrubs that don't grow a whole lot, little dwarf hollies, people don't like to get around things with thorns and stickers on them. Please have house numbers that can be seen by emergency responders. Many times I'd be trying to locate a house and I'd just go to the next house and the next house and back up the street. So this is something for you in case of emergency. Don't hide keys. People hide keys and they put them in those rocks and bunnies, and those turtles that people sell for you to put keys in. And it's obvious to people that look for these things that you've got a key in there. Mark your property for identification. We've got engravers at the police department. We loan out. If you want to engrave your driver's license number on your property, makes it hard for anybody to get rid of. If we stop somebody that's got property that's been stolen, we can run that driver's license number, see who it belongs to. Never put your social security number on it. You can photograph things that you can't mark, jewelry and things like that, or video. If you go home, you find a break-in, don't go in. We get calls, people say, somebody broke in my house. Well, where are you at? I'm in the kitchen. Don't do that. Just call the police. Everybody's got a cell phone now, or should have. Call the police, let them come out and let them search the house. Other thing is vacations. You go on vacations, we'll come out and check your house for 2 weeks. Police department will. You just come to the front desk, a little paper you fill out and sign. Every day while you're on vacation, officers come out and check your home. Go all the way around it and check the doors and windows and things. And one other thing that you can do is start a community watch in the neighborhood. And if you want to do that, you call me, 513-5449, 513-5449. And we've got a tremendous community watch group in the city. We just finished having National Night Out. A lot of folks participated in that. And that's something that we teach people how to make their homes more secure, some little things like we were just talking about. And in addition to that, we teach them what to look for. And stress calling us, call the police department if they see something that doesn't look right in the neighborhood. I think Lieutenant Long's coming and be a little more specific about some break-ins that we've been having recently and some problems we've had.
I'd like to recognize Lieutenant Brian Long at this time. Welcome, Lieutenant Long.
Thank you, Mayor, Councilman. In my current position as Lieutenant in Criminal Investigations, I just wanted to share with you that we're certainly aware of the recent increase with regard to some of the breaking and enterings. If you have specific questions, I'll be glad to try to answer those. I'm here to report to you that the City of Burlington is not the only affected municipality or area that this is occurring in, and we're working with our other local partners, the Alamance County Sheriff's Department and other municipal partners on a daily basis in an attempt to combat the issues at hand. Also working with federal partners on these same issues. So.
And I'll start the conversation off in reference to this newspaper article was in the paper, I guess, yesterday. Rosalie did a great job, by the way, and it really pointed out some very good facts, but some disturbing facts, Lieutenant Long, were in. Pardon me for reading my notes, but we talked about drugs. We talked about the victims stood out. We talked about the victims not returning telephone calls in reference to the investigation. We talked about victims not cooperating with the investigations. We talked about victims having a history of illegal drug possession. Some of the cases they didn't even report, the neighbors had to report. In this, according to the article, 90% of the crimes fit the above statements. I mean, that's troubling. Very troubling, because this obviously is a serious issue, and probably I've had more emails or more comments about this than any one thing since I've really been involved in politics, to be honest with you, and it is very concerning. But there's got to be a common thread, a common denominator here, and maybe Staff Sergeant Turner said that, and maybe it is drug related, maybe it is fast cash, I don't know, but I think that the senior citizens, especially the ones that's called and we've run into in the community, are very much concerned about their neighborhoods and about going out after dark. Sure. So I guess the question I would have for you, it doesn't appear to be random acts of people just picking out a house on Edgewood Avenue or a house on Short Street.
That's correct. I mean, the cases that we're currently investigating, we've we've made progress over the weekend, worked a long weekend, and we've made some progress. At this point in this particular forum, I'm not really in a good position to discuss that because the cases are ongoing. And many of these cases, or almost all of them, are ongoing, the investigations. But I'm familiar with each and every case that not only that the city of Burlington's had, but that the Alamance County Sheriff's Office is working, Mebane Police Department, and other jurisdictions. And after countless meetings with these other investigators, there's a common thread.
Right.
And there's a common thread that the people are almost all cases, and there are some exceptions, but it's well above 90% of the people that are victims have been involved at some point in at-risk behaviors.
Sure.
Whether that be gambling in a non-legal type of venue where someone may have heard or found out that they were involved in that type of activity and had cash, or whether it be a drug connection. But as you can imagine, it's sometimes hard enough to solve cases when you have a very cooperative victim.
Sure.
It only multiplies that problem when you have victims that aren't forthcoming about the underlying reason for the robbery or so forth. But I feel very comfortable saying that citizens that are not engaged in at-risk behaviors, gambling, drug use, or drug sales, we haven't seen them being targeted in any of these type of incidents.
And I think that's something that needs to spread throughout the community, as opposed to people being fearful of going to bed at night with the back door being kicked in. And I noticed we've had 21 cases, according to the newspaper article, 14 with guns, 3 without, and we've made 4 arrests. Hopefully that number will move forward on the rest. It's also really nice to know that there's collaboration taking place between the Burlington Police Department and other agencies in the county as well. I remember years ago that we did, the gang task force, where we communicated and worked together across lines, jurisdictions.
Right.
I even thought about that this afternoon in preparation of this meeting. Is it something that we need to create a home invasion task force? And
well,
maybe it sounds like you're already doing that without using the term.
I think we could certainly look at the formalization of that, but I think it's already happening.
Right.
Without that without the formality being there, that communication, like I said, not only state or city municipalities, the gang task force, the Alamance County Gang Task Force, is still up and running and intimately involved on a daily basis in each of these investigations. And we have representatives from multiple departments, but collaboration is, like I said, it's not just at the municipal level, it's at the state level, it's directly with the Alamance County DA's office and the United States Attorney's Office, and each of those partners is committed to resolving these cases, even though the victims sometimes have, these risk behaviors that have potentially maybe the underlying reason why they're being robbed. It is a serious issue, and it's being addressed.